I just cut my hair. Let's see. Shut up, Pandora.
You just gotta be on. You gotta be party with stuff. Eat alive and same thing.
All right. Okay, so we're live. Direct endorsement. We got Kyle Loza, Ian McCall, Brandon, you're out here.
And guys,
we are going to be doing a questions and answers podcast. You guys can participate by going to directendorsement.com and typing your questions into the live chat.
Or sit there and play with yourself while you look at our beautiful faces.
That's what I'd be doing, belt around my neck.
The autographed hats are going to be these hats that we have here. They are available in the store. Kyle's going to be signing them.
With all kinds of crazy stuff on them.
So that should be interesting. And 10% of the sales are going to...
it's this company called Nagu. They're a non-profit for helping children that have leukemia and all sorts of cancer. It was founded by this little girl named Jessie, and she made up this company. It's called Nagu. It's NEGU, and it stands for Never Ever Give Up. And she has an amazing story, so check that out when you get a chance. But yeah, we're gonna try to help them out a little bit, and you guys. So
unlike most of our prior people, like myself, he actually knows how to draw, so he can make your hats and stuff look cool. With me just scribbling on your things.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing some daggers and tigers and
wild stuff.
All kinds of cool looking art.
Super limited edition, that's for sure. As you can tell, we only have 48 of them. We sold half of them the first day. I'm not sure how many that is left, 24, so
that would be.
We have questions coming in, and the first one is, if Kyle was allowed to use his bike, who would win in a Mad Max Thunderdome-style fight between you two?
What do I
don't know what that means at all.
Do I get a tiger or a dagger or some cool shit? Because this is not I would think that
if my motorcycle had
blades,
razor blades hooked up to it, and we could chicken fight it, we can cockfight it.
I just suck on 2 wheels. If I have 4 wheels, most people don't know, I used to race rally cars, amateur circuit in Southern California. I can drive with 4 wheels. 2 wheels. I don't know why I suck at 2 wheels so bad. It's not my thing. So I would have to give the Thunderdome battle, if it was on 2 wheels, to Kyle.
Yeah, but the whole fighting thing, man, I wrestled in high school and got my ass just ruined.
So. 2 total different sports, understandable.
Yes.
And for the Kyle Loza fans that are tuning in right now, this is Ian McCall. He fights in the UFC. So ask your questions if you want to compare the two, and one would be...
And me and Kyle have been longtime friends for, I don't know, a while, and it's just random.
Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Some people want to know the difference between when you're walking out to fight and when you're getting prepared to do a trick.
I think mostly... between extreme sports athletes, which fighting is, and motocross too, obviously, and just in general with musicians, everybody I've talked to, it's kind of just an adrenaline thing. Like, one of my friends that rides gets so worked up that he literally throws up, like, every time. And there's this unspoken thing in motocross that's called the pre-jump dump. So right before contest, everybody that's riding will be just crapping everywhere all over the place.
It's the same. It
turns up your stomach.
Yeah, it's any sport, and like I've been doing it forever, so I know that the adrenaline dump. You're flying 100 feet in the air. I'm having another person trying to beat me to death. It's the same difference, realistically. But it's once you do it so much, your sensors everything gets doled out to where I just put a smile on my face, and you kind of use the crowd. You know that there's, say at the X Games, or a UFC event, there's 20,000 people in the stands. There's also 1 million people on the TV watching.
At least.
At least 1 million people. And you kind of think like, oh, that's a big deal, but at the same time, you got to do what you have to do, and you got to. For us, you have to provide for a family.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of stuff. So.
You gotta just block it out.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Block it out. Just listen to music and act like there's nothing else in the world.
I've seen the toughest grown men in the world start crying, and like nervously, like, oh my god, I can't do this. Oh my god, I like talking to my agent or other fighters, like, oh my god, I don't want to do this anymore.
Like acting like they're giving birth. I can't handle it. No.
Like,
I can't do it.
We've been training him for this exact moment for months, and I'm an attention whore, so I like it. I get off on it in a weird way. There's something wrong with me. Like, there's this old man called Juno G. LaBelle, who I just read or just listened to a podcast with him. He was in the very first MMA match that was like 50 years ago.
Really?
And they always talk about how sick and sadistic he is, and like he was talking about how he gets off on it. It's like sexually hurting people. And I was sitting there, and I was like, him and this guy Carl Gotch, and I was like, you know what? That's not. I don't go that far. That's weird.
That's kind of gnarly.
But yeah, it kind of brought me back down. Where I was like, okay, I'm not weird. Like
I'm not as weird as that guy.
I'm not as weird as the old man who pushes the envelope. He's like 80 years old. He could probably beat me up. But
that is gnarly.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. It's just people, everyone deals with it differently.
Kyle, this question was for you. Do you have any stories about the X Games? What happens backstage? Any entertaining stories?
Thank you, Starbucks.
The last X Games I rode, I was in and out of consciousness the whole time.
I was there. I can attest
I was
to
there
that.
too. I was with you.
So I don't really remember too much of it, but
Kyle's not home right now.
yeah. But yeah, there's been a lot of like just cool stuff, I guess, that happens. Like randomly, you just be walking through the pits and Pamela Anderson or like who was it last year? I think it was like Dane Cook or somebody. Just like random people are just everywhere, and you're like, it's kind of like surreal, but it's pretty cool. The first year I rode X Games, Brian Deegan was trying to like psych me out or something because I'd never ridden before. And he's like, comes up to me and the first thing he says, he looks at me, he's like, this is what it all comes down to. This is most important in your part of your life. Better not mess this one up. Like just trying to get in my head, and I kind of just laughed it off because.
And then you won.
Yeah, and then I won, and then I smoked him.
Like, sorry, man, I win.
But no, he's cool, and then ever since that day, he's been like super fan for everything that I've been doing and pushing the sport. It's been pretty rad. So.
How many? So you won 3. You were the first person. Or has anyone broken that record 3 in a row?
Well, I was the first rookie to ever win a best trick contest, and then first person to do it 2 times in a row, and then first person again to do it 3 times in a row. So.
How many gold medals do you have?
In the States, because there's international X Games that I have medals in too, but in the United States, at the X Games, I have 3 gold medals.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Back to back to back.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna draw on some of these hats while we're just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I might do a lot.
You gotta finish signing all these too.
I might ruin someone's hat too. So if there's
we
dicks
should get one with both signatures on it.
If there's dicks on all of your
we should
hats,
auction that off or something.
Sorry.
To help out. Did you have any information you wanted to give on that charity? Because he covered a little bit of it, but feel free to chime in.
Yeah, it's
we got my dad over here.
Yeah, Kyle's dad, just like my dad is
NEGU.
the man behind the curtain.
Okay, I think he covered that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her story.
Yeah, her story was she had cancer, and she really, just decided that she wasn't going to let that disease hold her down.
Yeah.
And she did a lot of work with other kids that had cancer, and she started this NEGU, and she was doing jars of joy, and she put things that other kids would like, and she put these in jars with a lot of other people, and then sent them out to kids across the country, and she became
Jars of Joy.
Yeah,
sending out jars of joy.
Isn't that cool?
I like that. That's great.
Yeah.
This is a little girl who's sick, and I don't know. Most people don't know. My daughter's sick. She's not dying or anything, so don't worry. But I deal so much with kids that have cancer, Ronald McDonald Foundation, all this stuff, and like they're saying this little girl has cancer and she's not going to let it affect her per se, and she goes out and fights against it and makes a foundation and is sending other kids who are sick jars of joy. Like that's
Right.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing, you know, and that's. I mean, I've had conversations with my buddy Jamie that runs the Ronald McDonald House, and we'll go see kids and then meet them. The kids don't care who we are. We go there for families, you know. Like the dads want to hang out with us down at the house, you know. And you know, later on, like he'll mention, oh, you know, that kid passed away, and it's just like,
It's tough.
God.
We got.
It's like really this
affects
last kid's wish is to meet me. Like that's a pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I want to tell him, like, I'm not that cool.
Yeah, like I'm not as tough as you are.
But I'll sing and dance for you. I'll do whatever you want. You know, like, it's just
Pretty gnarly.
the strength of little kids. You know, it's
Inspiring.
it's really cool.
And we got a question that came in that is saying, do either Kyle or Ian want to get into acting? Lots of X Games and MMA fighters cross over and make some of that easy money. Do you see yourself going there? Any films, shows you've been in?
I actually did an audition for something yesterday. I can't talk about it. Of course, I can't talk about it. I'm busy. But yeah, I did an audition in Hollywood yesterday. I got friends in acting like Donald Logue and things that are trying to get me. Or the guys in Sons of Anarchy. They want me to do stuff, which if I was on Sons of Anarchy, that would probably be awesome, the coolest thing to date I've ever done. And I haven't even been watching the show lately. I feel like a bad friend. But I mean, I think it's kind of all at our fingertips. They treat us like real celebrities because we're just athletes. Real celebrities that are famous for other things that being talented for. They seem to look at us like little toys. Like, oh yeah, hey little buddy, you want to like do you want to do our bidding? So it's cool. You know, I would love to do it. It seems like a good afterlife for sporting.
What about you, Kyle? Anything about acting?
Yeah, I did. We shot this movie probably 2 months ago. It was for this movie that's coming out called Starman, and I had in the whole film I probably had a good 20-30 minutes in it of just actually probably more like 15. But it was rad. It was fun. Yeah, that was cool. I love doing it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I did a couple of deals with Chuck Norris doing stunts, you know, jumping off, you know, 4-story parking structures onto like the most rickety like car carrier covered in oil.
Yeah.
And just sliding out and jumping over a Hummer as it crashed through the ramp that I was jumping off, and on a 1986 like CR250 that was just weeded.
You're a monkey, Kyle. You're a monkey. You know,
Right, but
treating us this way.
it was cool though, and I had fun, and it was rad. You know, it was cool. I got to meet Chuck Norris,
It was awesome.
Yeah.
who's a pretty bad dude.
Did he show you the beard or the fist under his beard? You know, he doesn't have a chin. He just has
Yeah,
a
just
fist.
another fist. No, I didn't get to see that.
What is the next major event for you, Kyle?
Well, ever since Best Trick was canceled, it's kind of been a day-to-day thing, you know. We just did this, we just got done doing America's Got Talent. And that was rad. We went up to LA for a day and a half, and filmed with Howard Stern and all those people. And yeah, it was amazing.
It's awesome, man.
Howard
Stern?
Yeah, it was cool. The only thing that happened is right when we started practicing, one of my really good friends, first jump off the ramp, just over jumped the crap out of the ramp and missed the entire landing ramp, and that's a 75-foot gap, so he probably went up easily 100 feet, just, you know, 35 feet in the air, 100 feet long, just hit the ground, and then there was like a wall 30 feet past that, and just exploded off his bike, slammed into the wall, and it was just a disaster. And he ended up with a disc, like his elbow was just all out, sticking the opposite way. Dislocated elbow, something broke inside it, shattered his ankle. He just got he was a mess.
Wow.
But yeah, filming stuff's cool.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. Sometimes I think I chose the wrong sport because I chose the wrong sport.
I mean, what's the right sport though?
Yeah, but then I look at accidents like that and I'm like, maybe getting punched in the head isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
I just always say I should have been a pro surfer. I grew up on the beach and I suck at surfing. I traveled the world surfing. I'm horrible at it.
Surfing's pretty solid. Seems like it'd be fun, I suck at surfing, but if I ever could do,
Anything besides
could do anything besides stand up.
What would be the worst injuries of both of your guys' careers so far? And I say far because I'm sure you're gonna get injured again.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I walk with a limp. I stutter sometimes. My hand won't close all the way. And then Brad Pickett, I'm going to punch you in the face with my weird hand. If we get ready. That's the next person that's fighting. If you don't follow fighting, which I don't follow fighting, so don't feel bad.
Where is it going to be?
I fight in Dublin, Ireland.
Ireland.
On July 19th.
July 19th.
Up tone question mark.
Yeah.
I had to pull out of December because I broke my hand. I had the surgery a couple times, and then I pulled out of March because I'm fragile and I tore my hip. My labrum in my hip, and I tore my groin in 2 places.
Did you see the
Wrestling with a girl, by the way, who's really mean, Carla Esparza. She's going to be UFC. She's world champ. She's going to be UFC world champ in a few months.
That's rad, dude.
But she hurt me.
Girls are mean.
She's really mean. She's as good as she is for a reason because I beat the crap out of her on a weekly basis. But I mean,
Oh, that's cool. She's in your dojo.
Yeah, she's on my team, Team Oyama. But she's a stud. She's actually going to be on the new season of The Ultimate Fighter. It's going to be all 115-pound girls.
Yeah. What about you?
That's
Worst
rad.
injury of your career?
Worst injury in my career. Gosh, man.
Every time I talk to, oh man,
So, what was the latest? Well, I don't even know anymore. I know, this is what I know. I've had easily 29 broken bones,
no big deal.
not including fingers, ribs, or toes, because those don't really count.
If your digit's under what, like 2 inches, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. But other than that, yeah, 29 broken bones. I've had 9 concussions, one of which almost took me off this earth. I was in ICU for a couple weeks. I forgot, literally, no joking aside, forgot half of my family members' names. Didn't know who they were. And that happened when I was 19 or 20.
I did that in high school snowboarding.
Really?
It wasn't even fighting. I was fucking snowboarding. And I was really good at snowboarding, but it wasn't as bad. I was in the hospital for a few days.
Yeah, but dude, it was bad. I was in ICU. I couldn't, I was just a train wreck. I didn't know where I was, what was going on. And ever since that day, my brain, my wife will be like, you need to go do this and this and this. And then an hour later, did you take out the trash? I'm like, no. She's like, I told you to take out the trash an hour ago. I'm like, no, you didn't. And then she's like, shut up, you're just blaming it on your concussions.
Yeah, well,
I air out.
I'm sorry, my brain hurts. I'm sorry that I know where you're coming with that.
It's pretty scary stuff, dude.
It's scary. Motorcycles are dangerous, dude.
Yeah.
They're not fun all the time. Just like fighting. I'm sure it's fun, to just ruin somebody.
You put yourself through a certain amount of suffering for one, what you love to do, 2, because you want to be the best, and 3, eventually, if you're like us, me and you, we have kids and wives, beautiful children, and you have a beautiful wife. I have an ex-wife. I have a girlfriend that has a child, so I technically have 2 kids now. That you want to provide for. As a man, you have that, that natural inner beat thing that makes you just say, oh, whatever, I'm risking my life for these people.
And your health. Yeah.
And your health.
Life,
Well, fuck health.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna die eventually, so I might as well have fun.
Yeah.
And if I get knocked out one time and I don't remember anything, then I don't remember anything. It's just part of the game.
It's almost better, I think, to get knocked. You get a gnarly injury and the bone sticking out of your arm and you're knocked out. You don't even care.
And you remember, because it's true. You'll remember that shit for the rest of your life. If your arm is sticking out of the skin, and you're like,
It will haunt you.
Yeah,
You have
that's
nightmares about it.
yeah. I fractured. I mean, it's not fun. I fractured and dislocated this,
Yeah.
and I can remember like. Granted, I was in shock, but this was over and flopped up all weird. And I'm laying there, and I was wrestling someone who's like 200 pounds, which is stupid. And I just hear everyone scream. Granted, no bones are out of the skin, but like, and I just looked over and started like laughing. I was like, oh, that's gonna
What
suck.
else do you do?
Oh man! And everyone else is like, ambulance. My dad got on the phone. He's like, do not get in the ambulance. Get in your brother's truck and drive to the
Expensive,
hospital.
right?
And I was like, okay.
How expensive
Just
is an ambulance ride? Like 10 grand or something?
Yeah, so they put me in my brother had an old pre-runner, and we're in
It's all bumpy.
he's got full suspension done, and we're just like, I get to the hospital, and the guy's just like, why didn't you get in the ambulance?
Because my dad
Because I'm
said.
tough, 16, and I'm badass. Stupid idea.
Sister says, Kyle, do you have any special diets before your events? And Ian, what is your reward for food after an event?
Oh my gosh, dude, you don't even want to know my diet. No, well, that was a good question actually. Before events, because before events, I actually do have a diet. Like I try to.
Candyman.
I try. Yeah, I enjoy sugar, but yeah, before events, I try my best to to eat healthy and eat a heck of a ton of protein and bananas. Bananas prevent arm pump very well, so lots of potassium, iron, calcium. My wife gives me handfuls of vitamins every morning, but
I got a supplement sponsor for you.
in and out, really?
They don't pay
That's
anybody,
right.
but they just give free. That's the best stuff. All Pro Science, AJ, thank you for everything. It's just good, organic, grass-fed whey proteins and multivitamins. Your body can only absorb so much stuff, and you can realistically, like, if it's all plant-based, like if you go on onnit.com for Joe Rogan, if it's plant-based, your body will absorb it much better than like some companies. One company that used to pay me, I won't mention their name. Like you read the label, and it's like bright blue pills, and it makes you throw up. You're like, what? My body's not gonna digest this stuff. I was paying the money they paid me. I was buying stuff like All Pro Science products and onnit.com products because it's just better, and I'd rather spend the money on my personal well-being than take crap that's gonna make me feel not good. And it's. I mean, like diet-wise, like you don't. Performance is a huge part in any sport, obviously. But like I'm anorexic. I call it manorexia. I mean, I'm 150 pounds right now. I got to get down to 126 in a few weeks.
Yeah, throw some trash bags.
So
over
yeah,
it,
it's different now.
What's your diet? Like, you do the, what's it called, paleo?
No, I did that for a long time. I did the paleo diet. I've done every diet. That's it.
What's your favorite one?
It's not I don't know the name of it. I have someone who makes me all my meals, Coach Eddie. If you go on, I think it's Coach Ed. It's on my Instagram, Coach Eddie. I don't know his name. He makes me everything. It's like for everyone else, it's like $120 a week. And if you're in Orange County, it's awesome. $20 or $120 a week, 15 meals. 3 meals for Monday through Friday a day.
That's like cheaper than grocery shopping.
Oh, dude, I save so much money, and he's actually going to tailor make it to my daughter too, because my daughter's sick and has to have such a good diet.
Yeah.
So instead of me having to make it, my dad having to make it, because it's just me and my dad taking care of her.
Yeah.
We just have everything pre-made, and it's awesome. And it sucks, but at least it's good food, and someone makes it for me, so I don't have to do it myself. But But yeah, diet's like such a huge part. I mean, I don't really reward myself till after my fight. Like I'll have a beer or something. I don't even like beer. I just like a good like a cheeseburger and a beer from like somewhere that's like father's office in LA, or I go to the Brasserie. I go to spend so much time in Reno. There's a place called the Brasserie St. James. Best hamburger on the planet, or cheeseburger, and the best beer. It's called Redhead Stranger, the old Willie Nelson song. It's really good. I just sit there by myself and eat bone marrow and eat a burger.
Bone marrow?
Oh, dude, it's so good.
You eat bone marrow?
It's called meat butter. That's what I call it. And they literally they like bake it.
That's disgusting.
It's so delicious. You
I
gotta try
don't
it.
even care. It's called bone marrow.
It's so good. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, that's like Hannibal Lecter stuff.
Yeah, I'm a savage. I want to kill animals and eat them with my bare hands. I've really come to that. I've come to that conclusion. I like meat so much.
Oh man. All right. What about favorite job that you guys have ever had, or have you ever? No, yeah. Favorite job you've ever had outside of your sports.
I've never had a real job until lately.
Doing what?
I wholesale cars.
Oh, yeah.
I was raised in the
That's
car
fun.
business.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of like random, here and there stuff. I worked for my dad for a while, building pools, like artificial rock work and stuff.
Oh, he has
And,
the best backyard ever, by the way.
We have
Coolest
Disneyland in our
backyard.
backyard.
It is the coolest backyard
Yeah.
you'll ever see.
So my dad actually owns Loza Waterworks. It built a ton of stuff at Disneyland and Indiana Jones ride, Universal Studios.
Really?
And,
You never seen it? It's
No.
that
We
quality.
built the
It's,
Mummy at
That's
Universal
insane.
Studios.
You did?
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, wow.
The guys, yeah.
it's Disney quality stuff in a backyard.
All my roommate does is brag to me about
It's the
like
coolest thing ever.
getting Club 33
Oh,
passes,
yeah.
and I'm gonna be like, I know the guy who built that Indiana Jones ride now. So
I mean,
We're done.
how high is the pool's deep and you can jump off?
14, 15-foot waterfall.
And people don't understand.
300-foot slide
Yeah, 300-foot slide and a 15-foot
in the
drop
backyard.
into the water.
Wow, that's crazy.
People don't really understand how high 15 feet is. I mean, like all back off of whatever, it's not a big deal, like jumping off it. But for the average person, like that's kind of high.
For it being in a pool in someone's backyard, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But it's cool, and it was amazing growing up around that. Probably helped me in my sport.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I've had a bunch of jobs. The one I have fun doing most is tattooing. Like,
Yeah.
I've been drawing since I was tiny, but I love tattooing, and music like saves my life every day. I love playing music. I've been in band since I can remember. I make clothes. I know how to use a sewing machine probably better than a lot of people.
You have a lot of talent.
I've seen it.
But yeah, so music. But yeah, other than tattooing's been really the only job that I could make a job out of that I really enjoy, and I love tattooing. So send me an email and come get tattooed.
What's your email?
Cover up some of my tattoos.
My email is sharkdestroyer@gmail.com. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is? Oh, go ahead.
Job wise, I've owned companies. Like I own that transportation company,
All Star, right?
All-Star Automotive Transportation. That would have made me a millionaire by now if I wasn't
A scumbag.
a scumbag and doing illegal things with the company. I would have probably been a millionaire by now. But you live and you learn, because when you're 21 and you have all that power and money at your disposal, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I probably would have turned me into a horrible person if I would have done that. We won't divulge into that too much. Trying to think about my past. What else have I done?
But for all you kids out there, take it easy with money and don't make it your god.
Money's not that cool, man. I mean, it's really not. It could be. Go pray to something else.
Yeah.
Money isn't that big of a deal.
What is your favorite restaurant for both of you guys to take your ladies out to dinner?
Homemade food is one thing that you, especially being on the road. I mean, he knows it. if you can sit at home with your woman and your kids, or if it's, let's take the sex trophies out of it. If it's just you and someone you love, your wife or girlfriend, or whatever, it's nice. My new favorite restaurant is in Reno. It's the Brasserie St. James. My buddy, he just quit. He quit because of me.
What? That's a whole other story.
It was just me posting on social media, and he got in an argument with the owner about like, oh, look how cool this is. My friend, who's kind of cool, posted this picture, and the guy like brushed it off. My buddy.
Was he talking about you? He thinks you're cool?
Yeah. And
he got defensive.
He got defensive, and I then he quit because it was the last straw kind of thing. I don't know, but anyways, if you're ever in Reno, and Reno 911, it's not Reno 911 anymore. Reno is awesome, and I'm
Reno 911 is awesome.
Reno 911 is awesome.
It's the greatest show ever.
I'm thinking about I might move to Reno if I can take my kid and move there legally, I'll do it because I love Reno. But yeah.
So that's your favorite restaurant is in Reno.
Yeah.
What about you, pal?
My favorite restaurant is I love sushi.
Yeah.
So, dude, we eat sushi every night, and ever since I was a little kid, my mom would ask me what I want for my birthday. What do you want for your birthday? Like thinking I was gonna say a present, and I just instantly go, I want fried shrimp. So fried shrimp is like a staple that I have every year for my birthday for my entire life, and I like fish and shrimp, and there's a really awesome little place. It's not too new, but it's a little newer around my side of the town in South County. It's called California Fish Grill, and they have a bitchin' barramundi fish there that you just get it over some garlic white rice. It's amazing.
Barramundi is a whitefish from
Barramundi
Land. I think it's from
Barramundi Land.
That question made me hungry.
But yeah, there's
and In-N-Out. You can't forget In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, you can't get a better burger for under $5 in the world.
Very true.
Wherever you go. But sushi-wise, there's a place called Sanchigo in Newport.
Really?
That's if you eat sushi the proper way, it's called omakase. And if you eat omakase, it's chef choice. That's what it means in Japanese. And especially if you go to a sushi bar and you say omakase, they're like, "Ooh, okay, you know what you're doing," and then they just serve you. You just sit there and you just have water or beer or whatever you want, and they bring you out a bunch of food. And I did it last night actually. And
where's that at?
You can get it any place realistically, but there's some places like if you ever watch Jiro Loves Sushi on Netflix, that is the proper way to eat sushi. And Jiro is supposed to be the best sushi chef in the world, and it's in a subway center, like a little subway place in Tokyo.
You eat it different, or
they just serve you. You don't say what you want.
They just bring out everything that they think is good.
Yeah, they make all this creative stuff, and it's really good.
That's awesome. Every time I go to sushi, I see the same thing, and I know it's on the menu, and it still takes me 15 minutes to order.
Yeah, you just literally. We'll go soon. It's you literally just if you go to Sanchigo in Balboa Island, and there's a bunch of places that'll do it, but you have to find a good one like that. And it's you can just sit down and you just say that, and then they bring you over like 15 small plates one after another. And I mean we're talking like exotic stuff. There's shrimp are still moving around, and
that's right.
And
it's got the heads off dropping, and I gotta catch them in your mouth.
Yeah, it's delicious and weird. And it's fun.
Your favorite country outside the USA you have been to? Any countries you really want to visit but haven't yet? So favorite country and any countries that you.
That's a great question. I like a lot of countries. A ton of countries I've been to, I love. But in the movies, there's no place like home.
Yeah.
And definitely, I love Dubai. I went to Dubai a few years ago. I loved it. The only thing I didn't like about it, the second I got off the plane, I fully got profiled because I have tattoos. The dude pulls me out. He pulls me into this room. I didn't know what the heck he was saying because I don't speak English. He just said, I need you to come with me. dragged me into this room that's like,
bro, come with me.
it's seriously the size of like a 50-gallon drum, like the tiniest room, and we're both squeezed inside it. And he's like, all right, it's like searching me. Take your shirt off, dude. Take your shirt off. Take your jacket off. Take your hat off. Searching like in my ears, my mouth, like gagging me with a Q-tip.
Oh.
Take your pants off. I'm like, all right. And then take your drawers off. Take your underwear off. I'm like, what? He's like, take your underwear off. And they started getting mad. I'm like, all right. Well, I guess you have a badge,
Yeah.
so I'll get naked in front of you.
Is this rape? Yeah, that's like.
So, dude, fully butt naked, full on the worst. I got violated by some dude I couldn't even understand. Worst experience of my life, followed by an amazing experience in Dubai.
Yeah, I hear that country's beautiful, and
Dude,
it's
it's amazing. But
like opulence at a whole different level.
yeah, and what else was trippy? You get there, dude. I have so many stories about Dubai. It's retarded, but I'd get a lot of people in trouble. But what's rad? It will just trippy. Like you'll be driving down the freeway. Like imagine driving down the 5, and then just everybody stops, and there's these giant bells that start going off. There's speakers all over the place.
Yeah.
Like just these giant speakers. Everybody just throws their car into park in the middle of the freeway, gets out, gets their little rug out,
Starts praying.
rolls it out, and pray for like 15 minutes. And we're all sitting in the car like, what the heck is going on? Like the end of the world bell just went off, and everybody's praying before they're going to get sucked up to heaven or something. It was crazy.
I have a couple Muslim friends, and I've traveled the world with them. Like I've traveled all over Europe with them. I remember, like one time I'm sitting there, Uber and Usman, and these two super wealthy guys that I've known since I was in college. They're a little bit older. There's me and Chuck Liddell and a bunch of other guys. We traveled all over Europe for a month.
Oh, that's right.
And the twins were like on a train going through Switzerland or something. And these two, I look over and he's doing this in his chair. What the fuck? I kind of nudge my buddy and I'm like, what? We were like, is he doing a seizure or something? Like, oh, he's praying. It's like, oops.
No way.
Sorry. And it's just,
It's a different culture.
I think it's beautiful
Really.
what they do for their, for their culture and for their religion. Being raised Catholic, it's a little different at Catholic guilt. But
It's a lot of different.
It's very, very different. But I think it's beautiful what they do. But I mean, as far as countries go, I haven't been to enough places. I like Rome. Rome's still dirty. It's got so much culture to it, and there's been so much time spent there. And like I went to the Colosseum with Chuck and Antonio and some other guys, and KCO, and like.
KCO's brother getting married today, right?
We had like a wrestling match.
Today or tomorrow?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad. I don't know when my friends are getting married. But
Dude, I did that the other day.
Yeah.
So bad. I'm like, Nate Adams is getting married today.
you're like, well, I don't know.
Hey,
What is he?
what kind of fears do you have, like heights, spiders, the dark, etc., both of you?
I'm not too afraid of spiders and dark and all that. Once I had kids, you kind of have to turn into the nothing scares me dad.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your kids to be afraid. I hate seeing my kids scared.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you're just like, if there's a monster in this closet, I'm going to destroy him.
Yeah.
Like,
My daughter
I'm
wants
going
to
to jump through the door.
beat other things up. Like, so it's like I have to. It's just that thing where everyone's like, your dad's really tough. I'm like, no, I'm not that cool. I'm not that tough. You can't really
You're
fear
pretty
anything.
tough, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
let's do it.
You're
But-
pretty tough.
Yeah, you can't fear anything, and I just don't have. I've put myself in certain situations where I don't.
You learn how to block out fear.
Yeah, and like I said,
In the right
through
way.
all the whole career and through life, everything gets doled out.
And
Like-
in reality, like, fear's healthy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with fear.
Panic is when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Panic's not healthy.
You got to learn to channel your nerves into a positive, like excitement instead of being scared.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, I'm an attention whore. I get off on the excitement of competition. Or when I was younger, it was the same thing. It was competing in wrestling, or getting in a fist fight, or whatever was exciting back then. But now I do things like everything's outdoorsy. You know me.
Yeah.
My new girlfriend's a redneck, and I feel like I have to be I'm like a Boy Scout trying to fit in with her family. Like I got my rock climbing badge. I climbed like a 600-foot face in Nevada. The guy the guy I hang out with is her old wrestling coach in town. He's like me in 20 years, or maybe not 20, 15 years. Sorry, Mark, not that old. But he's like, yeah, we're gonna go climb today. You ready? And I was like, yeah, I've done it before. Let's go. And we put all the pack on. We run up there. We're wearing all this gear. And I was like, wow. He's like, are you afraid of heights? And I was like, what? We just hiked it. We ran in a mile and a half.
That's not heights.
And luckily, I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out when we get halfway up. And then halfway up, I'm like dangling from the rope. Like, yay!
600. What is that? 60 stories?
I'll show you a picture later. If you look up Lover's Leap, it's the highest part's 600 feet. We did 450 or something. But regardless, it was really high, and it took us a really long time. And then, of course, we were late to Brittany's cousin's wedding. But I was busy doing man shit. But I want to hunt and like do things that get me going. Because did you ever notice how my girlfriend will be like, or my family will be like, yeah, you don't like, are you even happy right now? Are you excited? Yeah, I'm super happy and excited.
Yeah, I'm content.
I'm sorry I don't have a huge smile on my face, or I'm not like, oh, let's go do this. It's like, no, like, cool. Are we ready to go fight a polar bear? Because I'll do it. Like, I don't know.
If you had $1 million, what one car would you buy first?
I would buy. I don't know, dude, because I've always wanted a Lamborghini so bad, but I have a 1979 Trans Am that I love, my favorite car ever, and I redid it all and it's basically a 2010.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a 2010 Corvette, motor, transmission, everything. 2010 Corvette with a Trans Am Smokey and the Bandit car on top.
So would you just build that?
Yeah.
So I think I would just, I got it built 2 weeks after I got it. I wrecked it into a pole.
It comes with a Burt Reynolds mustache too.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, and being a car guy, you like.
That's what he did. These guys car guys, and I said, well, Ian is for sure.
I grew up in a car family, like driving fast and being around cars. My family owns Toyota Central. I wholesale cars for a living. I don't sell cars. I buy cars. I get to spend someone's money all week long and then sell them at auction. And I'll buy a $100 car or I'll buy $1 million Bugatti. Like,
they have $100 cars?
Yeah, and they're not. You don't want them. You don't want a $100 car. Literally, I'll go to a dealership and I'll buy all their trade-ins, and I'll have to buy the whole package because I know if I get these 10 cars. These cars will make me money. I have to take these other couple pieces of crap just to make the used car manager happy. So I take them all. That's not my money anyway, so I don't give a shit. But if I was gonna buy any car, I mean, I've ridden in a Bugatti. I've driven Rolls Royces. I was cruising around in that new Wraith the other night, the new sporty Rolls Royce. It's a fucking boat, but it's beautiful. Porsches. I'm a Porsche guy. I like Porsches. I would build a Carrera GT, which is a death machine. Or I don't know. I'm a Porsche guy. If I could build a Porsche and spend $1 million on it, it'd be the fastest Porsche in the world. I mean, you take a brand new Carrera 4 Turbo S, which goes 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Like, jeez. Regular people can buy this technology. People are like, oh, you can build a better sports car. Like, no, you can't. Fuck off. Like, you're going 0 to 60 in a 4-wheel drive car in two and a half seconds, and that's $180,000 for a fully done up, to the bells and whistles, 15-inch ceramic disc brakes. Like, we're talking. Like, I could go on forever about everything, and I could put 1,000 horsepower in it. Still wouldn't be $1 million, and I would smoke anything on the planet. That's what I would build. And I could still go and probably buy a small house.
You could go on about cars for hours.
I want days. I love cars so much. It's like an obsession. It's something I've been obsessed with since I was a kid.
Something you're good at, too.
And yeah, exactly. I know a lot about cars just because I was raised in them.
Yeah. Are you working on any new upcoming tricks?
Yeah. I've been it was really, really windy all week this week, and
hot.
and pretty stinking hot too.
Yeah.
But I'm
I'm in shorts right now, by the way.
I don't know what the yeah, I'm hoping every day that someday someone's gonna give me a call and say they're bringing Best Trick back. I have a feeling it'll happen sooner or later, just because it's got to.
Yeah.
But
That's the only thing I ever watched.
It's a
so.
staple of
Without
the
it,
X Games, and granted, there was some very unfortunate events happened.
mhm.
That I think most of us were watching. It was gnarly. Yeah, it's still.
But I mean, for the progression of the sport to keep going, there has to be a Best Trick contest.
It's true.
Whether it's X Games or not, they need to have a Best Trick contest with a decent enough purse that it's gonna, give people a reason to make up new tricks.
Yeah.
And
It's something that people love to watch because people love to watch us risk our lives doing awesome stuff. It's how it works. It's how people like to watch the Thunderdome, or they like to watch Best Trick, or they like to watch a main event in the UFC. They watch it because it's
exciting. It's dangerous.
It pulls something from human emotion that makes people freak out.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a shame that.
What's crazier than the X Games with when it comes to dirt biking? What's crazier than Best Trick?
Best Trick.
It's the only.
That was
Best Trick
number one
had to have been the
selling.
most watched thing, right?
Yeah,
It was, yeah. Sold out the last
So
6 years.
go online. Let's start some sort of thing so he can become champion
Yeah.
again.
Bring
But
back
back-
Best Trick or something.
Back to that question. I have, I kind of, the last deal I did was the America's Got Talent thing, and then I'm still working on tricks every day in my head. I'm constantly thinking. I never stop thinking and try to create. And but the bike flip, I know without a doubt that you can do it because I've done it in the foam pit a handful of times.
I've seen him do it, by the way.
But it's just one of those tricks that for some reason, in the foam pit, it's a 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10 times, 1 out of 10 times you land it. If you don't land it, you break your ankles. The 3 times I haven't landed, I've either broken my ankles or torn a ton of ligaments in it and not been able to walk for a little bit.
Wow.
So it's just...
Which I've also seen.
Yeah. So it's just hit or miss. But bike flips are... once it does land it, whether I do it or someone else does it, it is gonna be insane because it's ridiculous. But and I also got electric doom combos and stuff that I made up a while ago. But just bringing those things back around is gonna make people freak out a lot too.
Yeah.
And
We got to get you back in the gym and start working on your physicality again. Because he used to work out with me a little bit, and we never really got a good foothold in it.
Yeah.
But with a move like that, we just gotta get flexibility, strength. We gotta push the envelope as much as possible. We'll talk.
Ian, would
Yes.
you fight Conor McGregor?
If I fight Conor McGregor, that's the loud
Irish man.
Irish guy, of course. I don't give a shit. He's just a human. I'm not fighting a guy with swords on a motorcycle. Okay.
the winter soldier.
In the Thunderdome. What is the worst that's gonna happen? Like when Aldo pulled out fighting Frankie Edgar, I'm like, I'll fight you.
Yeah, I remember that.
I ain't scared, homie. What are you gonna beat me up? That's happened before. You can kick my ass on national TV. I don't really care.
Has anyone ever died in that sport?
In sport? Yeah, but in the UFC, no.
UFC?
Never in UFC.
They do extensive
Well, in
medical
boxing,
background.
Oh, boxing people die all the time. And
Dude,
you know what?
see,
Someone's
why
going
can
to
they
die.
cancel boxing and that stuff,
That's
or
right.
not cancel it? But then when you're beating the crap out of each other, or Best Trick, it's you're in control of everything, and they have paramedics on site and stuff. Sorry, I'm ranting.
It makes me
so mad.
They
But-
just got scared and they don't come back. It's just one of those things where on
You're-
national TV,
Yeah.
once someone dies, because someone will die in the UFC.
Yeah.
I'm I hate to say it, but eventually it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, this is a hurt sport. Like realistically, we're trying to kill each other.
And there's freak accidents.
It is the job's ref to intervene, because if I knock someone unconscious and there's no ref that's stopping me, I'm going to keep hitting that dude. Like, I'm going to try and wake him up and knock him out again, wake him up and knock him out again, and create some sort of permanent damage.
You're a jerk.
Yeah, you know, but it's because, and I
It's just the mindset
I
you're
don't
in
even
at
think
that
about
time. Yeah.
but that's
Yeah. Because you're adrenaline.
we're,
Killer instinct,
it's
yeah.
a killer instinct where I know, you know, there's a lot on the line, but it is someone's trained job to intervene and stop you, and then you can run around and scream and flex on the camera, whatever. But you know, it's sad to say, but eventually it'll happen, and UFC will get flack for it. But I'm really shocked they took out that best trick. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me.
Dude, it does. I don't know who it makes sense to. Doesn't make sense to anybody.
Will you be at Austin's first Summer X Games in June? And it says Steph from Austin.
I want to go there.
I love Austin.
Hello, Stephanie from Austin. Either way, whether I'm riding or not, I will be there. I'm gonna go there. I don't. If I drive, I'll bring my bike. If I fly, I won't. But right now, I kind of had a slight awakening, I guess, and I just am having this like overwhelming desire, even right now. It's like giving me goosebumps. I want to be able to, get back to where I was, and when they took out Best Trick, I kind of lost that. I lost a lot of momentum, but since freestyle is still in, I figure with a handful of other tricks that I could do, if I just throw my Best Trick tricks, together in a run, then I'll be podium, being on top 3 every time. So, which would be rad. I mean, I love winning, but you can't always win. So.
Yeah. Did you guys ever, either one of you, get a moment where you almost bailed on your sports careers?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a bunch of those.
Almost
times?
every week at least. Right?
I mean,
what am I doing with my life? What am I gonna do? Well, because there's always in the back of my mind, what are you gonna do after? Once something happens, like they cancel Best Trick, the rug gets pulled out from under you, and then you just get stuck there with this giant mortgage and being able to just provide food for your family because all your sponsors are which it happens to everybody, no matter anybody that's
any job, anything.
anything. So it's extremely hard, at least for me, to come up with a backup plan after I'm done writing, because I would love to tattoo, so I really want to do that,
That's the next question. What is your favorite tattoo, and do you have any upcoming plans for more?
I still got a lot of space. My favorite tattoo, I have a lot. Actually, my favorite one is on my neck. It's is it on that side? The Jesus' hand. Yeah. So I have like a really cool picture that Sid in Santa Ana did. He did a lot of my tattoos. It's a picture of Jesus' hand wrapped up in purple cloth, which he was wrapped up in when he was on the cross. And he has with the nail through his hand and stuff. Above it says murderer, which is, people ask me about it a lot. They're like, why do you have Jesus' hand and it says murderer above it? Like, think I'm some Satanist or something, and I'm not. I've been Christian since I was 4 years old. It's a cool way because you get people asking me about this gnarly tattoo, and I love the tattoo also. It's amazing, but when people ask you what it means, I actually get a chance to be like, well, it's just a reminder every time I look in the mirror that I murdered Jesus Christ. We all are nailing Jesus to Jesus' hands and feet to the cross and sticking a spear in his side every time that we sin. do anything, and it's just like a really profound, just way to, keep me on track.
What about you? Your favorite tattoo? And do you have
Favorite tattoo? I would say probably this.
what does it mean?
Something you can't read.
Yeah, it's in Japanese. It's the launch code for the Predator Alien versus Alien movie. I'm just kidding. It's an old Japanese samurai quote, and it says, "Engage in combat, fully determined to die, and you shall be alive. Go into battle thinking you're going to live, and you will surely meet death." So basically, you have to. I take it from Ensign Inoue. He's an old fighter from Japan and is savage. But he's like an original super OG fighter guy, and it's an old samurai thing where before every time I fight, I write love letters to my family, whether it's mentally or I do it in my phone or to my daughter. I write letters, love letters, thanking my family and people that for what they've done for me, for the encouragement, for just being the people in my life, telling my daughter how much I love her, that I'm going into battle, that I'm going to die, and that I'll see her in heaven, or that I love her. I say it to my. Now I'll be writing one to my girlfriend, but my mom, my dad, and my brother, to everybody. I just I'm very into Japanese culture and samurai culture. I have my whole right side is all Japanese stuff. And, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I think one day it would be an honor to die doing what I love. It's just something I like. And I've got my lotus flower on my arm for my team. And then I'm going to get my other team logo here, Team Oyama. But I don't know, it's just it's a way of life that I've come to terms with.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up real quick. What kind of Starbucks are you drinking? Or someone wants to know what kind of Starbucks you're drinking?
Quad espresso on ice. I'm jacked up on the good stuff.
I'm drinking. What am I drinking? I'm drinking the blackest coffee that they make. And,
blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
But they don't use coffee filters. They just gather like rat nests and filter it through rat nests and blend it with human teeth, and it kind of just adds a little bit of everybody's life to it. It's organic.
It's organic. It's from the ground, and it's it's yeah.
It's filled with baby kids.
It's filled with It's you put babies in a blender, especially baby kittens.
Whoa, dude. Whoa.
Babies don't like baby kids. It's just,
pushing it.
Anyways, so these hats will be available in the store.
And they're all going to be awesome because we're drawing tigers on them and crazy stuff.
They will.
NSD, never say die.
They will be signed. 10% will go to the charity that he selected. We will post.
I'm stealing one, so you better buy it quick because there's only a few left.
They will all be super unique. You will not have a hat like anybody else.
One lucky fan will get one customized by myself.
Want to thank any sponsors?
I'm lying. I can't draw.
Yeah, so
stick figures.
Let's get Best Trick back.
Sadie Rain, Loza, Sam Draven, Loza, Casey, my mom and dad,
the beautiful children,
everybody, family. You guys rock. Thank you.